Every second, your brain is trying to guess what happens next. Before you hear a sound, your brain may already be preparing for it. Before you see something move, your brain may already be predicting where it will go. And before you consciously realize that something is surprising, your brain may have already noticed. You don't experience the world exactly as it happens. Your brain is constantly trying to predict what happens next. And sometimes, it gets it completely wrong. For a long time, scientists often described perception as something simple. Information enters your eyes, your ears, your skin, and eventually, your brain processes it. But modern neuroscience has revealed something much more interesting. Your brain isn't simply waiting for information to arrive. It is constantly generating expectations about what it thinks is about to happen. Your brain has learned from everything you've experienced before, every face you've seen, every sound you've heard, every movement you've watched, every mistake, and every surprise. All of it becomes part of an internal model of how the world works, and your brain uses that model to anticipate what comes next. Imagine you're standing at a busy intersection. A car is approaching. You don't consciously calculate its speed, its distance, and its trajectory. Your brain does something much faster. It predicts. It estimates where the car will be a moment from now. And that prediction helps you decide whether to move or stay still. This happens without conscious effort. Your brain is constantly asking, what's next? Where will that object move? What sound is coming? What word will this person say? What will happen if I take another step? Most of the time, you never notice this process. Because when your predictions are correct, the world feels effortless. Did you know your brain can begin responding before an expected event actually happens? When something is predictable, your brain doesn't need to wait for the full information. It can prepare in advance. That saves time, energy, and attention. In other words, your brain doesn't always react to the world. Sometimes, it gets ready for the world before it arrives. But predictions can fail. And this is where things become fascinating. Imagine you're walking through your house in the dark. You know where everything should be. Your brain has a map. The chair should be here. The wall should be there. The doorway should be exactly where you expect it. Then, suddenly, something is different. A chair has moved. Your brain predicted one reality, but your senses delivered another. That mismatch is important because surprise tells your brain something has changed. And when something unexpected happens, your brain may suddenly pay much closer attention. Think about the moments you remember most clearly. A normal Tuesday probably disappears. But the moment something completely unexpected happened may stay with you for years. A sudden accident, an unexpected message, a shocking discovery, a person appearing where you never expected them. Why? Because surprise is information. When your brain's prediction fails, something has changed, and the brain needs to know what. So instead of simply continuing, it shifts attention. It gathers more information. It updates its model of the world. Surprise isn't just an emotion. It can be a learning signal. Your brain cannot process every detail of the universe around you. There is simply too much information. So it needs shortcuts. It builds an internal model, a constantly changing prediction of what the world is likely to be. This model helps you move faster, understand speech, recognize faces, avoid danger, and make decisions. But there is a trade-off. Your brain's model is not reality itself. It is your brain's best estimate of reality. And sometimes, that estimate is wrong. Did you know your memories don't simply store the past? They can also help your brain imagine what comes next. The same system that helps you remember may also help you predict the future. Imagine learning to ride a bicycle. At first, every movement requires attention, balance, speed, steering, pedaling. But eventually, your brain learns what usually happens next. You no longer consciously calculate every movement. Your brain predicts how your body will respond. And that prediction makes action feel automatic. The same principle appears everywhere. Driving, walking, speaking, playing music, reading, even watching a movie. Your brain constantly anticipates what comes next. And the better its predictions become, the less effort you need to spend. But there is a darker side to prediction. Your brain can sometimes expect something so strongly that you perceive what you expected instead of what actually happened. This is one reason context matters so much. The same sound can mean something completely different depending on what you expect. The same shadow can look harmless or terrifying, depending on what your brain predicts. Your brain isn't simply recording reality. It is interpreting the evidence through everything it already knows. Did you know your brain may respond differently to something familiar than something unexpected? When the world behaves exactly as predicted, your brain can process it efficiently. But when something violates expectation, attention can suddenly increase. Your brain has detected a surprise. And this is where the story becomes even more interesting. Scientists studying the brain and engineers building artificial intelligence are asking surprisingly similar questions. How can a system make sense of incomplete information? How can it predict what comes next? How can it learn from mistakes? And how can it become better at predicting the world with experience? The human brain doesn't work like a modern AI system. The similarities should not be exaggerated. But the comparison has become scientifically fascinating because understanding how biological intelligence predicts may help us understand what intelligence actually is. So, are you seeing reality exactly as it is? Not quite. You're experiencing the version of reality your brain constructs from sensory information, memory, experience, and prediction. Most of the time, this system works beautifully. It allows you to move through the world without analyzing every second. But every surprise, every mistake, and every unexpected event gives your brain new information. And slowly, your internal model changes. Your brain is learning the world while you're living inside it. The next time you hear a sound, before you see its source, remember, your brain may already be guessing what it is. The next time something surprises you, remember, your brain has just discovered that its prediction was wrong. And the next time you look at the world around you, remember something extraordinary. You aren't simply receiving reality. Your brain is constantly trying to understand what comes next. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about the human mind isn't that it can remember the past. It's that those memories can help it imagine the future. And every second, your brain is making predictions about what happens next. Sometimes it's wrong, and that's exactly how it learns. CTA. If you enjoyed exploring the hidden science of the human brain, subscribe to AVR Curious Labs. We're only beginning to understand what your mind is capable of.